Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in 2020, my country, going for the Spring Cleaning Achievement. This one is to clear out 1,000 pieces of territory. This is going to be a very annoying achievement, so I recommend grinding it out as soon as you get your basic city together. So once you have it, we're going to take advantage of our 20 million starting money. We're going to buy a ton of energy, as we're going to need 2 energy each to remove a piece of territory. So obviously make sure you try to get enough to go for the entirety of the achievement. Now, once you have all of your energy all together, you're going to want to figure out what territory is. Territory are going to be these little obstacles all over the map. They're going to be things like trees or rocks, basically parts of the environment that you can remove to make space for more buildings. They're going to cost 2 energy to remove each. Now, super big warning. Every single map is not going to contain enough pieces of territory in order to get the achievement, as every map is going to have way less than 1,000. Every map has about 600 or so pieces, and you cannot start the game over once you have your town started. So, after saving up all of your energy, if you start working on the achievement right away and accidentally clear every single piece of territory in your town, you're going to have a very difficult time in getting the achievement. And the big reason for that is because the respawn rate of territory is going to be astronomically slow. You're going to get about 1 piece of territory to regenerate every single real life day. So obviously, if you clear out your town, you should have about 600. And because the respawn rate is going to be so slow, it's probably going to take you about 400 or so days in order to get the rest of the achievements. So, regardless of whether or not you are starting this brand new with a full map of territory, or you accidentally cleared out a bunch of your territory, as long as you have some territory left on the map, you should be able to use this trick in order to get this achievement. Do keep in mind, this trick is going to be a requirement if you do want this achievement in a timely manner without having to wait the astronomical amount of time. So make sure you try to go for this as soon as you can. The earlier in the game, the better, so you don't accidentally make the mistake of clearing your town. So if your game has any territory at all, which one you want to make sure you exit the game, you're going to want to go into your computer settings and make sure you turn on airplane mode. That should disconnect you off of the internet, and then basically you're going to be offline. Make sure you boot up the game, and then we are basically going to load our local save. Make sure you get past all of the introduction stuff, and then make sure you actually get into the game. You should have your map in its current state. So obviously, the more territory you have left on your map, the easier this is going to be. However, if you did make the mistake of clearing out the bulk of your territory, what you can do is you can go over to the settings. Make sure you click on no buildings, and that's basically going to turn every single interactable object into a colored square. Then every single territory still left on the map is going to be these gray squares right here. So just make sure you click on them and then clear them like normal. Hopefully you have enough to work with so you can get this achievement sooner rather than later. But obviously, if you made the mistake of clearing out your map earlier, you're going to have a way harder time and less of these to work with. So take advantage of whatever resources you do have to work with, and hopefully you should be able to get this achievement. If your map is going to be completely devoid of territory, you're going to probably have maybe one to work with. The one that tends to respawn every real life day is going to be behind the achievement building, which is going to be the starting area of every single city. So make sure you look for that. Obviously, this is going to take an astronomical amount of time if you only have 1 piece of territory to work with. So make sure you do keep that in mind. This one is going to be super duper grindy if you didn't take that extra step to prepare yourself to get this. Nonetheless, once you finally clear your offline save world of any and all territory, what you want to do is you want to make sure you exit out of the game. You are still going to want to be in airplane mode. It's going to be very important that you are not connected to the internet, as you do not want to overwrite your cloud save, which is going to be the only thing that's going to save us from making this achievement nearly impossible for us. So once you are certain that the game is cleared of territory, exit the game. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you uninstall the game. So just make sure you open it up and then make sure you uninstall. And then as soon as it's completely wiped from your drive, make sure you then turn the airplane mode back off. And we should then connect to the internet. We're going to open the store, and then we're going to reinstall the game. So make sure you just open it up, and then make sure you reinstall the game. And then that should basically reinstall everything, including our cloud save. So once it's finished installing, make sure you boot it back up, and then basically it's going to kick us into the game to the point where we last played before turning airplane mode on. So make sure you get into the game and make sure you double check that all of the territory is still going to be there. If everything went correctly, everything from before we disconnected offline should still be there intact, including the territory. It should be at this moment where you probably want to check your achievement tracker. You might notice the achievement tracker is going to budge concerning this achievement. Any progress we made with our offline local save should also now sync now that we are back online, so the achievement should be progressing the way it should be, while also keeping our world intact. So, once you can confirm that everything is going to be working as intended, you are making progress on the achievement in the tracker, and all of the territory in your online save is going to still be intact. It's time to repeat this process until you get the achievement. So, just make sure you exit out of the game, and then just make sure you do the same steps. Make sure you turn on airplane mode and then boot the game in offline mode. Make sure you get into your local save, clear as much territory as you can. Once you have that ready, just make sure you close the game, uninstall, turn airplane mode back off, and then make sure you open up the store, reinstall the game, and then boot it online to get your achievement progress to sync, and then just keep repeating until you get the achievement. It's going to be a very long and arduous process, especially if you are short on territory. However, it's going to be the only way of getting yourself the achievement in a reasonable amount of time. So just make sure you stick with it, and hopefully the game doesn't give you any problems or you don't make any major mistakes, as either one can cost you the entire achievement. So just make sure you take your time with this and be super duper careful when trying to work between the two saves, the local and the cloud save. And eventually, if everything does go exactly how it's laid out, you should be good for the achievement once you do hit that 1000. So hopefully everything goes well and it does unlock. There it is. It's going to be for 70 gamer score. And that's all there is to it.